I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Network. Well, let's talk about our taxpayer money being literally set aflame, set afire, as Joe Biden has taken it upon himself to try to force all of these climate change agendas right down our throats, and in turn, passing the cost on to us. Yeah. So the United States Postal Service is on a mission on behalf of the radical left and their Green New Deal agendas. Let's be real, okay? The Inflation Act was in large part a shitting mess of climate change bullshit, okay? There, said it. There, right out in the open. And part of that is the Postal Service making a bit of a change. And by bit of a change, I'm talking $9.6 billion worth of a bit. My God. $3 billion of that is part of the Inflation Act, by the way. Electric vehicles. Look, for the record, I don't care if you want an electric vehicle or not. That in a vacuum, I don't care about. But making these sweeping, ridiculous changes is absurd. Not doing this over many, many years. If you want to try to do something involving EV like this, make the changes over 40 years or 50 years, okay? Because regardless of what AOC thinks, the coast of California is not just about to fall off into the ocean. Some would say, unfortunately. You get my drift. Daily Wire Postal Service buys nearly 10,000 electric vehicles as Biden pushes for an electrified fleet. Oh, Lord. The United States Postal Service announced the purchase of 9,250 electric vehicles and 14,000 charging stations on Wednesday as Biden administration continues efforts to phase internal combustion vehicles out of the federal fleet. Let me ask a question here. So, where are we getting all these lithium batteries from? Oh, where? Now China? Okay. Well, something to do with China? Yeah. Where are those getting mined at? How are the conditions involving the people who are mining them? Just something to throw out, you know. Or F them. Is that what we're doing? F those people. Okay. Officials unveiled the move as an early stage of a broader electrification strategy that will involve the purchase of 66,000 electric vehicles by 2028. The agency also awarded contracts for the 9,250 conventional internal combustion vehicles due to the urgent need for new equipment. What about this is urgent in any way? It's ridiculous. Come on. Quote, we are moving forward with our plans to simultaneously improve our service, reduce our cost, grow our revenue, and improve the working environment for our employees, and burn your money at the stake. Electrification of our vehicle fleet is now an important component of these initiatives. Postmaster General Luis DeJoy, taking all of DeJoy out of your taxpayer dollars, said in a statement, we have developed a strategy that mitigates both cost and risk of deployment, which enable execution on this initiative to begin now. The total investment in the electrification program is slated to reach $9.6 billion with a B, which includes roughly $3 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act. That thing had nothing to do with inflation. Nothing. And while I'm thinking about it, mother F all of you Republicans that voted for that piece of shit, too. Mother F you. Twice. just to be sure. A previous statement from the White House said that roughly 3/4 of the agency's next-generation delivery vehicles will therefore run on batteries instead of internal combustion engines. Doesn't it take like things that run on coal and etc.? I mean, doesn't it take certain things to be able to get those batteries? We were talking about the people actually mining for some of the stuff. But the equipment, things of that nature. The Biden administration has established a goal of procuring, and I've got to be honest with you, I think all this bullshit is just fraudulent. This climate change crap is just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The Biden administration has established a goal of procuring only 100% zero-emissions light-duty vehicles by 2027 and will extend the same standard to all vehicles in a federal fleet by 2035, according to a document from the White House. Look, when Trump gets reelected, I hope he comes in and signs an executive order shitting all over this. All right? I mean, fan shit spray through the screen door, never hits a wire kind of shit, okay? Just obliterates this crap so we can rein this spending in. The purchase, and I went that route because I figured, hey, the visual, you'll get it. The purchase of electric vehicles by the Postal Service follows a similar initiative led by Vice President Kamala Harris to electrify the nation's school buses. You have the buses, and then there was a school. And you got the school, and then there was the buses. The project will use nearly $1 billion from bipartisan infrastructure laws for rebates awarded to school districts and buy the vehicles, while the White House plans to spend a total of $5 billion on the program. Policy under Biden administration has indeed favored nascent electric vehicle technology. Individuals who purchase certain electric cars can receive tax credits between $4,000 and $7,500 under the Inflation Reduction Act. The climate change crisis doesn't care if your state is red or blue. And here comes the most irresponsible wording. It is an existential threat. Oh, come the bleep on. President Joe Biden commented during his recent State of the Union address, "We have an obligation to our children and grandchildren to confront it. We've got an obligation to spend as much of their money as humanly possible." So the federal government is in even more debt, even more of a mess than we're in right now. I'm proud of how America is at last stepping up to the challenge. No, you're forcing us into it. The state governments of California, Massachusetts, Washington, and Virginia have meanwhile subscribed to new rules from the California Resources Board. You are idiots if you take anything from Gavin Newsom's California, really? Requiring 35% of new vehicles to produce zero emissions by 2026. A standard that will progressively, and that's a good wording they use, rise to 100% by 2035. The Biden administration has likewise set the ambitious target of ruining your life, of ensuring that electric vehicles constitute 50% of car sales in the U.S. by 2030. Researchers have nevertheless said that electric grids in California and elsewhere will require significant upgrades before a rapid transition from internal combustion vehicles can occur. Okay, yeah, because that was going to be the other thing I was going to bring up in all this is, so the electric grids are all ready for all of these motherfuckers charging their cars. God, I dropped the F-bomb. To sit down, start charging all their cars. By the way, have you seen the charging lines at some of these charging stations? Have you seen that? Have you seen how long it takes to recharge some of these vehicles? I mean, how is this supposed to work? Oh, I'm kind of running low on a charge. All of a sudden, I need to drive across the country because of an emergency. All right? I'm gonna hunker down. I'm gonna try to make the drive nonstop. You know, we've all made that stop. I'm gonna stop, nap for an hour. We've all had to do that. How many times are you gonna have to all of a sudden stop to charge a car? Just this shit seems so impractical. It is unbelievable. And the irresponsibility, the sheer act of just literally pouring lighter fluid onto dollars and lighting it aflame is absurd. I mean, I feel like this is going to be a bigger fraud than Black Lives Matter. A much bigger fraud because it's on this larger government scale. I mean, this is just bogus. Completely bogus. Completely irresponsible. Again, if you wanted to make changes over the 30, 40, 50 years, and I'm talking about realistic small change or whatever, personally speaking, I wouldn't make a damn change at all. None. Zero. Zilch. But what they're doing is they're trying to force hands right now. And you got states that's following the lead of California. Oh, my God. Okay. Wow. Tell me what you think. Black and White Network supporters. We're going to find out. I mean, most of us with any real common sense know this is one of the most bullshitting agendas we've ever seen towards an issue that, I mean, is it real? Is it live? Is it Memorex? It's horseshit. Totally. Just another crusade for people that have Ukraine flags and Black Lives Matter fist in their Twitter handles. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.